Hey, FedFam, thanks so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time to be here. And let's talk about the mutual fund window and how do you leverage the TSP Mutual Fund Window fact sheet for your benefit as a professional. So let's talk about that. We have briefly talked about the five core funds, the GFCS and I funds that are available for investment opportunities for employees. You can check out that video separately. But then also, obviously one of the reasons why everybody keeps in that TSP fund and keeps their money in there, well, there's such low fees. Well, that may not be true with the mutual fund window, which is where there's 5,000 other investment options to choose from. And so let's talk about that. With the mutual fund window, it is a self-managed program. So there's no financial advice available within there. There are also additional fees if they want to participate within the mutual fund window. And within that, it's like an open market to choose whatever index that they want to invest in or directly invest in rather, with those options. But again, is it the best for them? We don't know. Employees who don't understand the mutual fund options can be very confused. They may not understand the additional fees along with the regular TSP fee. Again, there's $150 annual fee. There's a $28.75 per trade fee. Also includes or is also in addition to rather any other fees for that investment option. So if there's any other fees that are already, again, for that option, they'll be tacked on to the fees through the TSP. Some of the rules within the mutual fund window is that with the employees' investment options, they have to have a minimum of $10,000 to be able to invest in the mutual fund window options. And they cannot have more than a quarter of their portfolio from the TSP in the mutual fund. For instance, if somebody had $100,000 within the TSP, they can only trade with and get into the mutual fund window with 25,000 of that because obviously it would meet the 10,000 minimum, but it would have a $25,000 maximum. So they couldn't take 50,000 and decide to play with it within the market. It would only be 25% of that. So also, with the investment options, it's passed through all the rest of these five core funds to get to the mutual fund window. And so when somebody invests in their TSP, then 100% of their allocations are going to go to one of these five funds and or, if they have an L fund. But to get to the mutual fund window, which we know, by the way, the L funds are just a compilation of the five core funds, right? If you want more of an explanation about these five core funds too, please check out that video where we go over what the funds are within the TSP that are available for employees to invest in. Okay. With that being said, they're only allowed 2 transfers to be done per month. They can only make 2 trades. It's not where they can be day trading or anything like that. But a transfer within the mutual fund window counts, or a trade within the mutual fund window counts as a transfer. And then once 2 are done, then that all has to go back into the G fund. At least that's my understanding. So if somebody knows something differently, please correct me if I'm wrong. We are definitely not investment advisors. So just to throw that out there, we don't take your job away from you, right? We're here to help you on the benefits side and understanding those different pieces. But it's my understanding that is how that works. So again, if anybody else has anything differently, please be my guest and let me know. We're not going to get into that today. What I did want to show you though is in OPM's website, they do have some explanations about the mutual fund window. and this might answer some questions for you. So I wanted to make sure that you guys have this resource to talk about the mutual fund window, eligibility, fees within it. And again, you're going to see everything else that we just went over. Oh, 37 annual administrative fee. They must have changed that. Well, plus the 95. Okay. And that's how, but that's, wait a minute. What did we have? 150? Okay. It's not 150 anymore. We have the maintenance fee plus the 37, which is now a combined amount of 132. I'll have to fix that in my presentation. Learn something new every day. But anyways, the trade fee is the same like we talked about. And then we've got the other trade fees will come out with the additional fee of the trade rather that they'll do. And so how does it work? Again, they pass through. But all these different questions are within the TSP. This might actually be really helpful for you when you're talking with employees when it says consider the risks of investing through the mutual fund window. Obviously they've got their low TSP fund, but then there's more to it, right? Credit risk, currency risk, excuse me, inflation risk, market risk, prepayment risk, whatever that looks like. There's a lot of different risks within the mutual fund window than there is for the other 5 core indexes. So very key to understand how that will work. And then of course, how to close the mutual fund window account. If anybody wants to remove themselves from the mutual fund window, they can do that. And all that information lives here. So walk through that process. When you are having an employee who's considering the mutual fund window, then TSP has this publication about the mutual fund window. Again, it has all the information that we went over regarding what that looks like, the minimums, the maximums, the fees, and all of that, the risks to consider, how does it work, everything like that is in this publication, but where it said that if there was any additional help, if this was too confusing for the employee, that they should reach out to a financial professional. And it kind of just gave you guys a foothold or a footstool, if you would. Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the page now. All of you who are investment representatives, you may want to consider being able to help employees with their TSP mutual fund window options and with a program that can help you with that. Of course, if you don't have somebody that you're connected with to help you with that, then we are more than willing to connect you with a group that has availability that can work within the TSP and talk about those mutual fund window options. So just so you guys have that, of course, we'll have these links in the description or comments. So look for those links within the information and we'll make sure that we get those out to you. But very important because I would seriously like print this, highlight it, with the for the employee to help them understand, like, look, if these are too confusing for you, I'm here to help you and whatnot. So use these resources and I hope they help you understand the mutual fund window opportunity for employees. Until next time, have a great day.